About 2 years ago, I was doing an inspection on a townhouse. And when I first walked in, it just caught me off guard. I looked where the kitchen area was and I saw 10-2 Romex. And upon closer examination, I saw they were using copper-clad aluminum. Now, copper-clad aluminum conductors are permitted now in the code. This started in the 2021 IRC and the 2020 NEC. But there's still some reservations on it by a lot of people, and I'm one of those inspectors that feel that way also. And as far as I can understand, all the data says it's great. I'm still not a big fan, so I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth concerning copper-clad aluminum in residential construction. So what's been the problem with copper-clad aluminum? Well, it kind of got a bad deal back in the 70s because they were in a haste to save copper. And what they labeled in as ALCU was not quite the product they hoped it would be. And so they had a lot of trouble with it, and mainly it was with the fact the way it would heat up and cool down, and then it would become loose, and next thing you know, you had arc, situations and faults occurring, which led to fires. So the aluminum alloy was the problem we had back in the 70s. So it really took a bad rap, and I'll grant that to them. So that was then, and this is now. The product is much better. It's made much better than it was before. But again, I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth on some of this, and some really interesting issues in my research I've come upon, especially concerning aftermarket work, where the homeowners had work done, copper-clad aluminum has been installed. No one knows it. Another electrician comes in after the fact. All right, so let's look at that scenario. So, because copper-clad aluminum looks so much like solid copper, it's overlooked quite often and considered pure copper. So we have some problems that we can have. Number one, of course, is overfusing. See, an inspector or an electrician who might think they're looking at number 12 copper might allow a 20 amp breaker when the actual copper-clad aluminum conductor should be protected by a 15 amp rating. Over time, this could heat the wiring. So damage during the stripping or installation also commonly can occur. And incompatible devices. Standard copper only outlet switches or light fixtures may not be rated for the aluminum core. So that's something else we got to look at. Using the wrong pressure plates, backstabbing, or connectors can loosen over time. And for splices and wire connectors, UL warns not to assume CU only. It's okay for CCA. Use the properly identified conductors, right? And these issues are avoidable with education, proper installation techniques, and training. We don't want to over-torque our devices. So there's a lot of issues that come up just from recognition. I wish there was some way we could require at the panel that we tell everyone that this is copper-clad aluminum being used, but that's not in the code at this time. So here's my 2 cents. The use of copper-clad aluminum should meet all the requirements listed in 110.14 A through D, and I have some additional recommendations. These are my recommendations, and authority having jurisdiction can try to push some of these if they want to. Good luck. You're always good until you get challenged, right? So let's just go through some of these. Some of them are code, and some of them are just my opinion. Number one, all terminations shall be torqued with a certified torquing tool. Quite often, we ask someone have they torqued something, they slap their muscle, and they say, "Yeah, I did," and that's not quite what we're looking for, right? Torque specifications should be recorded and documented. And upon request, electrical contractors should submit documentation to the city or the jurisdiction showing that the torque tool that was used and that it was calibrated. I know it sounds extreme, but terminations are the biggest failure that we have with any electrical connection. Copper-clad wiring, aluminum wiring for branch circuits should meet the requirements of Articles 110.5 and 310.3. Copper-clad aluminum conductors are subject to the ampacity requirements, and you have to look at the tables. The installation of copper-clad conductors for use as branch circuits must meet all the requirements of Article 310.14. I highly recommend that electricians, inspectors, home builders get a copy of the code and look at this. We will have a link to where you can purchase a copy of the code in the description of either this short or in our longer channel. All right, talking about Romex or non-metallic sheath cable NM. We have some code requirements, and that's the use is not permitted. Shall not be installed where subject to damp, wet locations such as any exterior outlet. Now keep in mind this, Mr. Inspector, Mr. Electrician, that feed you got on a residential structure that's going to an island sink or something like that, in that conduit cannot be copper-clad aluminum, can't be in a damp or wet location. So it's got to meet the ampacity requirements. Copper-clad aluminum conductors for NM cables shall not be smaller than 12 gauge through 4 American wire gauge per Article 334.104. And per UL, let me read this to you. It says screwless terminal connectors of the conductor push-in type, also known as push-in terminals, are restricted to 15 amp branch circuits and are for connections with 14 AWG solid copper wire only. They are not intended for use with aluminum or copper-clad aluminum wire. 14 AWG stranded copper wire or 12 AWG solid or stranded copper wire. So keep these things in mind. What we're seeing is people are backstabbing these devices with 14 copper and then doing a little pigtail and making the connection, which is not, in my opinion, a great way to do it. Doesn't meet code, yeah, but again, remember, code is the minimum. So that means you met the minimum requirement. For the installation of copper-clad aluminum wiring, the number of openings or outlets should be limited. This is my 2 cents. 12.2 NM, cable or conductor shall have not more than 10 outlets per circuit rated at 15 amps. 10.2, not more than 14 outlets per circuit rated on 25 amp. And number 8, cable or larger shall meet the ampacity load requirements of the equipment it's going to be serving. Again, these are my 2 cents, and not all of this is going to be necessarily code. We cannot stress this as enough. It is imperative not to cause any surface damage to these conductors. If damage is found upon inspecting the termination, it should be done or redone to correct the damaged wire. It is not recommended to pre-twist copper-clad conductors when using twist-on type splice connectors. If pre-twist is done, make sure to perform it in a way not to cause surface damage to the conductors. Wire connectors used to connect copper-clad aluminum to copper conductors shall be rated for copper and aluminum. They're going to have a listing in it. Look on the package. Devices such as snap switches, receptacles, GFCIs are required to be listed and labeled to be terminated for use with copper-clad aluminum conductors. So there you have it. That's kind of my 2 cents worth on this subject of copper-clad aluminum. Hope this is helpful to you. I do have a full video on copper-clad giving you all the details on it, and I encourage you to go to that. Please like, subscribe to this channel. We appreciate your support. You have a great day.